Hey everybody, good morning. Got some issues yesterday. Starting off with Superman number 14, HL on Earth. And this one starts off with Lois Lane, Lois Lane coming to Clark's place and asking, hearing what happened and how he left. And Lois, is talking to Clark like, why, you should just go apologize to him. I'll talk to him, and get your job back. And then, she's like, well, Clark's like, well, I left, I quit for a reason. You know, I don't know what I'm apologizing for. So then Lois gets an idea. Is well, I know why. It's because of us. We used to be partners. We went through the rankings together, and times change. Clark's like, well, if we are friends, you should have at least told me that you're moving in with your boy, and all that stuff. You know, it seems like you're his booty call or whatever. And Lois is like, well, you're my best friend. The reason I tell you all this stuff is so hopefully you can talk me out of it. Then you see Supergirl barge in while they're talking. Oh no, excuse me. No, while Lois is talking, Lois is like, wait a minute. I've been seeing this smirk on your face. Who is this lucky girl? And then Superman and Clark is having a flashback of him kissing Wonder Woman. And then Supergirl barges in, and then I think Lois gets the idea that's probably Supergirl that he is seeing. So Clark's like, you know what, you can't just come like this in the to my place and almost blow my disguise. We can't talk here. So he takes her somewhere else, and Supergirl is telling Superman about this person, and then next thing you know, this HL, this character, arrives. Now this character claims that he's Clark's father, mom and dad on Krypton took him in and taught him everything. His father taught him everything about science and all that good stuff because his father was one of the best scientists on Krypton. So he's like, they looked at me as their son, and I'm like your older brother. So Superman was like, you know what, I'm not buying this. I was young, I don't know nothing about this, and so he turns to Supergirl, are you buying this? So he puts his sight on Superboy, the clone, and he goes. I mean, this guy's power seems like it's incredible because he went and grabbed Superboy like right here. 1 minute they're talking, next minute he's got Superboy like that. So his speed, even Superman's like, oh my god, his speed is incredible. Like within point millisecond, it's like boom boom, he's got Superboy, and right where they are. So he's like, you know what, this is your clone. He's not even one of us. He's mixed, he's human, he's clone, he's a hybrid. So next thing you see, Superman just smacks him across the air, and he lands by a bunch of cars. Then Superman tells Supergirl to stay here and protect the boy, and he takes off to go fight HL. And of course, Supergirl goes after Superman to see what's going on, or then HL transforms himself to look like Superman so he can take Supergirl out, thinking Supergirl that it's Clark who did it. So the fight continues, and this HL guy is just strong. He's fast, he's strong, and of course he just beats up Superman, and then flies off. And he's like, you know what, I can do this with Supergirl, and I can bring Krypton back. So yeah, so it ends there. It was an okay issue. This whole new Superman thing has been kind of not really been that good since it started because of the creative team changing, the storyline, the past, the history they've changed of Superman is just, I don't know, it's just ridiculous because it just doesn't seem right reading this, you know, this title. But it's, again, it's Superman. I mean, this is DC's flagship character besides Batman, and I'm a huge Superman fan, so I'm gonna, of course, continue to pick it up. But I just hope it gets better one of these bloody months or next year. It's hopefully gets better. Next is gonna be Morning Glories number 23. In this one, this time, this story's all, it's kind of based on Hisayo, the character, and his brother being dead, and then having Abraham, actually the ghost. God, I hope I'm saying this right. Abraham, back, the ghost character right here. Now, I'm not gonna spoil too much on this because I know there's a lot of people that follow Morning Glories, but all I'm gonna say, it was a really good issue. A lot of surprises, kind of a lot of surprises that you find out. But I mean, it's just getting better and better. And Morning Glory is one of Image's original, and this title just kicks ass. Next one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 16. The cover B. Nice cover. In this one, the fight continues with Specimen number 6 at the Turtles' new lair, which is a church and has the underground sewers and all that good stuff, and a bunch of other levels that goes. And you have a Stockman who actually is, I guess, who did the project of Specimen 9, is like, you know, hey, I leave. As soon as I leave, the specimen escapes and all this. Now it's just, you know, raising havoc. So Doctor, you know, they're all trying to get it back. And General Craig is just forming his own army to do what he needs to do. I mean, towards the end, I mean, this Specimen 6 is obviously a very powerful character because he's being a bloody shit out of all the turtles. So towards the end, Leonardo decides to just talk to him. You know, just talk to him. It's like, hey, you know, we're not here to hurt you. We're not here to do anything bad. And Casey Jones and April walk in, and the Specimen 6 sees them. So Leonardo mistakenly, I don't know if he did it purposely, mistakenly stabs Specimen 9 in the shoulder, right here. And Specimen 9 is like, it's like hurt, you know. And Leonardo, like, he feels so sad, like he feels like, oh my god, I can't believe I just stabbed you by mistake. It was a mistake, you know, I didn't mean to. And of course, Specimen 6 falls back in the water and swims away. But it seems like that's going to be the lair, and from going forward, it seems like. And then in the end, Woody, the guy who gave Michelangelo the pizza, leaves him a note saying, hey amigo, don't think I can deal with all the kind of stuff that follows you and your bros. I'll keep the pizza coming, you know, the Woody. So you see, you know, the letter was left for him, for Michelangelo and the pizza, and then you can see, you know, Michelangelo crying while he's walking away, sad that, you know, he just lost a really good friend. Also, towards the end, God, I forgot his name, but this cat, the one-eyed cat mutation thing, finds the Specimen 6 and tells him, hey, you know what? We are going to go and do what we need to do, you know, and you're going to help me, kind of thing. So, yeah. In the next issue, it seems like it has General Craig's picture on it, so, yeah. All right. So, I'm really enjoying the Turtles by IDW, and I'm definitely going to be back for the next issue. A must pick up. Next issue is, or next title is Uncanny Avengers number 2. In this one, Avalanche just raised havoc and just destroyed pretty much half the street of New York. And, you know, Wolverine's like, you know, he was rehabilitated. He was cured of his the way of his ways, and Captain America's like, yeah, Avalanche didn't seem the way, his eyes was just vacant, like, he wasn't there. And of course, because the Red Skull did the surgery and everything. But Thor's like, you know what, I'm here for Earth, and we're gonna find out who did this. And Captain America's like, yeah, we're gonna find out. And he's telling Wolverine that Alex has agreed to join the Avengers and lead one of the Avengers team as the leader. And Wolverine's like, you're gonna pick Alex Summers, you're gonna pick Scott's brother. Yeah, that's gonna go very well with everybody, and you're gonna have a lot of pissed off people, But they're like, you know what? Yeah, Alex is a pretty boy and everything, but he's a good man. He's a good leader. He's a great leader. He's a good man. And Wolverine's like, you know what? Yeah, but still, people, there's going to be a war between mutant humans. And as Wolverine is saying that, he sees one old guy giving Havoc a hug. I know we lost a lot of people here. You've saved my life, saved my Elena's life, and I don't care what they say about mutants, there ain't enough heroes in this world. And you see this old guy giving Havoc a hug. There was a really nice moment to see that happen while Wolverine is having a doubt, and Captain America just like looks at him like, So one person at a time. Then you see in the news that the mutants are back. This is what's going on. This is what's going to happen. We need to stand up. We did it before. We can do it again, kind of a thing. And then you see this character. You see this two right here. Of course, she's a regular human. This is a mutant. As she's listening, she grabs the bottle. They grab the bottle right here and just whacks him in the back of the head, and there's blood, and he's just drowning away right here. So whatever Red Skull is trying to do is kind of working. And then at the base where you see Rogue kidnapped and Scarlet Witch, of course, you see Rogue here. I thought Rogue could fly, but I guess not. Rogue and the two mutants have Avalanche's daughter, I believe that's who she is. They have their own words, and of course, Rogue can absorb anybody's power. She takes the water and just slips out of the trap and escapes. Then here you see Red Skull. The Red Skull talking to Scarlet Witch and telling Scarlet Witch, "Hey, you know what? I'm not the same man anymore. I'm this new person. There was this millions and millions of mutants, and you once wiped it out, and you can do it again. And I need you to wipe them out." And again, I believe with his brain, with Professor Xavier's brain mounted to Red Skull, now he's pretty much controlling Scarlet Witch, and telling her, this is what we need, this is what you need to do, this is why you need to join me. And Scarlet Witch, of course, goes ahead and joins him. And when Rogue finds her, Rogue heard everything, that she's gonna destroy all the mutants again, and this is how it's gonna happen. So Rogue heard it. They're fighting. Rogue is fighting Scarlet Witch, and there's a big hole that is formed, and they drop down to the underground, and Rogue finds Professor Xavier's body lying there with his head missing and the brain gone. So Scarlet Witch comes to her senses finally, and then towards the end you see Red Skull and his buddies are ready to attack those two, or I guess he's trying to control them. Another awesome issue. I've really been enjoying the Uncanny Avengers, and I'm gonna keep on collecting it while it's good. So Rick Remender is doing an amazing job on this. Next one is Uncanny X-Men Legacy, #1. Right? Yes. In this issue, it starts off with the Cortex Complex. I guess it's this prison that holds all the prisoners and the mutants and everything, that the mind, and yeah, it's like a prison cell. And then you have this one character named Ksenia Nadij. Bloody hell. It's one of those Russian chicks. She's in jail, of course, and she's planning a way to get out. And there's this thing called the Extractor, which is this character. What an Extractor is pretty much he goes and he absorbs and he drains all of the person's essence as they lie on the chair. So he drains their sickly essence and takes it in. So this chick, the Russian chick, Ksenia, I'm just going to call her Ksenia, hoping I'm saying it right, she's planning a way to get out because she knows it's going to be her turn on the chair. People don't know why they said they go there, but they know that the essence does get sucked out. Then you have this one character, then it goes to this one character named Mazar the Mystique. He is a guru. He's Legion's guru, David's guru. He's been working with him, it seems like, to calm his mind, to help him understand that there's a lot of good to be done. Your father, Charles Xavier, was a good man, and you are his son, and you will do good as he did. So he's training him, to do what his father, did, to help mutants, help people. He does have flashbacks here and there where he loses it for like a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds. Like the Extractor was him, Legion. I didn't know that was him. So while he was in the jail, sucking everybody's essence out, the Extractor was Legion. So where he takes his mask off, sorry about that. Thought I heard something. But yeah, so the girl, Ksenia, it was her turn, the Russian chick, to go in the chair. So now she's been watching Extractor do his thing and knows exactly when his vulnerability is and when it's not and when it's the right time. So she's been planning to attack him. So she goes in the chair, pretends like she's just been drained, but enough energy left to attack him. So as he's dragging her away, he takes his helmet off, she punches him and just bites him right in the neck, which is right here. And then one of the people, the guru, actually somehow knocks her off, which is strange. Oh no, it's one of the guards, I believe. So anyway, so he has his flashbacks and his kind of his thing, but he does come back down and knows that Guru actually helps him realize it's okay, or so at the Jean Grey of Higher Learning, this one character named Ruth, while I think it was Kitty Pryde who was with her, also two other girls right here, and of course she's blindfolded. I guess she has no eyes, so she has a flashback. She just and she starts crying. Something changed, just changed the future. the old king is dead, long live the new king. And that's all she said. And she's just screaming and just crying. Then David has another, it seems like he has another flashback. So when the girl bit him, all the essence here that you see came out of him and went back to all the prisoners, all that he took out of. So you see, and I hope I'm saying this right too. What I'm seeing is, all the essence just went back to all the prisoners. And then while he's having that flashback, he doesn't realize that when he has this flashback, his powers affect while he's in the presence, and it just destroys things around him. So while he had the flashback, it seems like that he destroyed where he was, and the guru, the Mystique, he died. And he said, the X-Men will be coming for you soon. Yeah, the X-Men will be coming to you soon. They always take care of their own. They watch over their own. Meet him as a friend, David. Don't meet him as an enemy. Meet him as a friend. And then he passes away, and then you see the destruction that left. And I think with him getting the flashback, that's what did it. Then it goes to the flash. Then it goes back to where he was the extractor, and the girl is still alive, right there, and she wants to be the first one to kill David, the extractor, while he's in jail. But there's this one little creature that actually goes and kills her, right here. Ah, right there, that gold thing, and just kills her. So now everybody's just standing around. The extractor is helpless, which is David, and it ends right there. I don't know a lot about Legion, but he seems like, what I've read and what I've been told, what I've read about him online, he's one of the most powerful mutants in the world. Like this guy is just incredibly crazy strong. So I was iffy about this title, but reading that Legion's gonna have will have one of the major roles in this new Marvel Now universe, just like Havoc will, and other mutants, and Cyclops now coming back. I'm really excited to see what happens. And he does find out that Charles Xavier, his father, is dead. So yeah. So another good issue. Definitely gonna pick up number 2. I believe it came out yesterday, but I forgot to get it. So yeah, so good issue there. My final issue is Thor, God of Thunder, number 1. Now, I like the character, but I've never been a huge fan of Thor. So I think, this is a fresh start. Let me go ahead and just pick it up and see if I can jump aboard and like it. And if I don't, then hey, at least I tried liking this character. Starts off in the 893 AD, where Thor, at the time he doesn't have the hammer, he has this other weapon, and he's having actually somebody asked Thor to come, the gods, to save them because there was a monster killing goats and ate a couple of goats, 2 children, and blah blah blah. So he went and he slayed the giant, and now he has nothing left to do, like he's bored. So he's talking about what he wishes there was another giant. So some guy comes running saying, hey, there's something in the sea, there's a beast or something, and they find a head that's severed. But the head is cut off, but there's no sign of fight, struggle, or anything. It's just nicely just cut off. And it is one of the gods' head that's cut off. So he's trying to figure out, so he wants to know, okay, what is this thing? Who can do something so, ruthless that you can't even see? There's nothing. It's just nicely done. There's no body mark, damage, nothing. So it goes to present. So there's this alien girl who is praying that there has not been rain for months and months and months, and that everything's dying, everything's dead and dying. And it was the planet Indigar, yeah, and is asking Thor to come and help. And of course, Thor hears the call, comes to Indigar, brings rain, and he's like, you know what, nobody's gonna die today. So the kid is happy. He's excited. She's excited, and the Thor just saved them. There is really a God. Gods do exist. So the father tells the story of how there's not been gods for years. It's just a fairy tale. He didn't know that gods really existed. There was a big a fortress in the sky, gold, this and all that stuff. And Thor's like, well, I mean, don't insult me. There are gods. Gods do exist. But his thing is like, but to me, to us, it's just been a myth, a story. Like, so Thor takes off, and he's like, why there's, what's going on? So as he's flying away, he sees this fortress here, and he's like, what is this? So he goes in the fortress, and it is part of the Indigar planet. So he goes, investigates, looks around, then he sees this one room, but then one room has a chain on it. So he breaks the chain, and he opens the room. He sees all the gods murdered, just hanging. The women, the children, the male, I mean, all the gods, like in one room, like in this one little building. And these gods are like humongous. You can see Thor standing here and see how small he is compared to how big all these gods are that are dead. And this body's like all over this place, on the shelves, or I'm hoping it's their bed, on the beds, on the floor. Some are hanging, some are just frozen, and it's just like all the gods that was in Indigar, that was there, and other, are all dead. So no wonder Thor's like, this guy's never heard of him, because, well, they're all dead. And they chained it up. So now he's like, oh, this guy, he's God the Butcher, the god of, the Butcher. He's the one that actually killed years ago, when he was in the AD, in the millennium ago, that when they found the head floating in the ocean, that was floating up. This is the god that did it. So as he is thinking, the creature that's there comes and attacks him, but he is actually the guard, like a guard dog of the creature that's killing all the gods. So they fight, and this creature is pretty strong. And then towards the end, you see Asgard, and you see Odin sitting here alone by himself, no troops, no wife, nobody there, and it seems like it's been a while that nobody's been there. So he's talking, he's like, bring the troops, but then he realizes, hey, wait, there's no one here. It's only me. And if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down with my hammer and my sword, fighting as a true god. And towards the end, you see him going into battle. And then, before it ends, you see these thousands of the Butcher's guards just coming to attack him. And then this is where it ends. Me personally, I really did enjoy this issue. I loved it. The art was good. Story was great. It had a sense, a meaning behind it. It made sense. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, it had me going, and I'm definitely going to be back to pick up number 2 to see what happens. But it seems like, so far, what I'm reading in this issue, that it seems like the mom and dad are dead, and there's no Asgard. There's no Asgard, because there's one part where they brought Thor's mom and dad up. He's like, I don't want to talk about my mom and dad, or I don't want you ever to bring up my mom and dad. So the feeling I'm getting, that the parents are dead. But again, I don't know. So hopefully we'll find out in number 2. Or something happened between the parents and Thor that he left Asgard. Again, a lot to a lot of questions that hopefully will be answered in the issues to come. But again, I really enjoyed this. Loved it. So I can't wait to get number 2. Also ordered Iron Man. And again, I've heard really bad things about Iron Man. I haven't heard really good things about Iron Man at all. But I got issue number 2 coming. I do have to go pick up number 1. So I'm just going to read 1 and 2. And if I don't get into it, I'm just going to drop Iron Man for good. But Thor, my first issue of Thor, I'm really reading it from number 1. I have to say I really enjoyed it. Really good story. Again, made sense. Had a reason behind it. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.